Don't do it, lady.
My father called her and went to her slowly.
You see the hands? That's the way you're supposed to approach somebody on the edge, too. Very slowly and cautiously. Y'all ever seen those creepy horror movies with the people that have the heads that can turn around, like on The Exorcist when she was possessed and her head just started going round and round and round and round and round? That's some creepy stuff, right? The even more so is like, you know when they walking upside down and their heads right side up? That is the epitome of evil and creepy. So I saw this animation thumbnail by Creepy Animated Stories called The Inverted Head, and it looks pretty spooky. We're gonna react to it today. Make sure to go over to their channel and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Let's get into the animation.
My father used to work on a construction site in Moscow in the early 80s.
Okay.
They were building high-risers. They worked in 3 shifts, day and night, and they had one terrible story, which he told me. Construction accidents then in the 80s and 90s were inextricably linked. But it wasn't due to negligence or non-compliance with safety rules.
I mean, they had a lot of that though. Like I mean, you gotta think we've come a long way as for society with safety and unions and organizations that protect people at work, and even the technology and you know, and the skill to do things much more safely than we used to. In the 80s, man, they lucky if everybody had hard hats and steel-toe shoes on. My dad worked in the oil field in the 80s, and while safety was something that they talked about a lot, you seen people walking on beams in Ford construction sites? Those places are dangerous, like super dangerous. Let's not even talk about the heights, just the amount of machinery and sharp objects everywhere, steel and just you name it, man. That's not an easy place to be. It's not an easy place to work, that's for sure.
But as he told me, because of the woman with inverted head.
Okay, inverted head woman.
At first, he did not believe the local workers. They tried to discourage him from working the night shift. But the night shift was paid higher rates, and he often worked nights with several other CIS nationals who had nowhere to go. And at first, he did not think anything of these stories.
Alright, so they telling him stories that he shouldn't work at night because of this inverted head from lady, and he liked working nights because he got paid more. I can understand not believing some hokey legends that people are telling you about, and that you try to get extra money, especially if you okay with working night shifts. Personally, I wouldn't do it. First of all, I'm kind of creeped out pretty easy, if y'all couldn't tell. Second, yeah, the night shift sucks, man. We've talked about this a number of times, but working at night, it just ain't good for you. It just don't feel good, man. You're supposed to sleep at night.
But in just one single night, he changed his mind.
Okay,
late in the evening, he went up the stairs to his floor. At the edge of his eye, he noticed the movement in the nearby building. He stopped and looked into the night darkness of the stair flights. There was a woman standing on the edge of the floor. Okay. It's probably her. Another worker who was going upstairs with my father also saw it.
So it's not an illusion, not a dream.
My father ran to that building to talk her out of it or grab her hand.
Oh, they thought she was about to jump because she's on the edge. Okay. I thought they just saw somebody in the neighboring building, but apparently it's another construction site, and it looks like the lady's about to jump off the ledge, so they rushing over there. Okay.
Mate ran after him. When he got there, he saw that she was still standing on the edge of the stair flight.
Don't do it, lady.
My father called her and went to her slowly.
You see the hands? That's the way you're supposed to approach somebody on the edge, too. Very slowly and cautiously. You see it all the time in movies and these crime shows, right? Or these just drama shows. People like, don't do it. Don't do it. You have too much to live for. What about your kids? What about your family and stuff like that? You know, some negotiation tactics. You don't want to run up and act like you're going to grab them, because you might scare them enough to jump accidentally, or motivate them to jump before you can actually help them.
When he approached her, she abruptly turned towards him.
What?
At first, he did not even understand what was wrong with her face.
Her head
He saw
twist.
her sprawled mouth and bottomless eyes.
Oh.
But her face was inverted. Her curved mouth was on her forehead.
Oh.
And her eyes were on the place where her mouth was supposed to be.
So it's not, her head's not actually upside down. She got a mouth on her forehead and eyes on her chin. I guess, it's still shaped like an upside down face, and her hair's on the bottom. It definitely looks creepy though, what the hell?
She stood there and looked at my father, and he even thought she was laughing.
Oh
Then
my
she turned
God.
back towards the street. And then Dad's mate ran to the floor. My father couldn't stop him because everything happened very quickly.
Oh no, don't
The
run.
guy ran towards this terrible woman.
Don't touch
and
her!
wanted to grab her by her waist.
Oh no.
But when he grabbed her, she
Go
took a
push her.
step into the dark abyss.
Oh,
and
she
the guy
jumped too.
fell down with her. Father could hear her laughing, and his mate scream.
Oh, he's done. So are they both on the ground now?
No wonder, when my father went down to check their condition, he did not find any woman there.
Like a siren,
Only his mate from work was lying on the ground.
except ugly and creepy. Lured him in.
After that, my father worked at the site only day shifts. And when
guess so.
there were no people willing to work at night, their team was disbanded, and he quit the construction site. The site, where accidents had been happening regularly, as my dad's boss used to say, was demolished.
Yeah.
It was set to be built in violation of construction standards.
They shut it down. They shut it down, and that wicked lady, she probably worked for OSHA, y'all. No, seriously. I worked offshore before for a little while. I hated the job. I had a couple of construction jobs. Well, one construction job and one offshore job, and they both seemed very, very dangerous. The construction job, I actually worked not outside on the construction, like a place where they were doing the construction, but I worked in a machine shop where I had to hold these 100-pound plates and punch holes in them for like 12 hours. The shift was horrible. It was. Plus, I was tiny. I'm still a relatively tiny guy, so 100 pounds is a lot for me to lift. And I'm not talking about a plate like a plate that you eat a salad on. I'm talking about a plate like a steel plate, a long steel plate. And I remember showing up there in a red shirt and blue jeans with some steel toe boots. And I came back and I was black from head to toe, like covered with that like soot from steel. It was... I wouldn't work construction if I did. If I had to feed my family to do it, I guess I would. And if you work construction out there, kudos, but be careful, man. That's a dangerous job to be out there, like them heights and stuff. And if you see any crazy ladies or men that's trying to jump, man, maybe just approach them carefully. Maybe make sure their head's right side up. Creepy animated stories, guys. Check them out right there, as well as a couple other videos that I reacted to from him right there. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.